This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mithras. Mithras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved. Hopefully we are live now. I'm just refreshing my second monitor. Oh, drat, I know what I haven't done. Panic. I haven't changed the
You haven't panicked?
I haven't done the I haven't changed. Everybody thinks I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online because I haven't changed the
Hang on. Jabby.
Right. Are we live?
I used to be a warrior like you until I took an arrow to the knee.
That's a emote in ESO, isn't it? Arrow to the knee.
Yeah, arrow to the knee.
Which I think is brilliant. So yeah, well, I think we're live and I've changed it now. The tonight's session just says M space RPG. I'll think of something fancy in the introduction and change it now then. So hopefully that has updated, so we're not playing ESO. I might have to go and get some tablets because my facial neuralgia is just pinged off, but I'll do it in the introduction. Okay then, so welcome back everyone, welcome back. We left things in a really interesting situation right at the in the middle of combat. I think we're actually going on to, we're still in combat round 1, but we're on turn 2. I think that's where we're up, and we're about to go down the combat order again. So that's what we're about to do. But yeah, we're right in the middle of a camp of an adventure. I'm just going to do roll 100 d6s to get rid of everything in the thing. That's cool. So when I go off and grab some tablets, I'm going to leave Mr. Pickles. You can start off by introducing who you are and who you're playing, then pass it round, and hopefully by the time I get back, it'll be back to me. Okay? So off you go, Mr. Pickles.
Do it really quickly so we've got lots of dead air at the end.
Make it really awkward for the audience.
I figured we'd just take things over, establish our own government here and say this is our stream. No, I'm Mr. Pickles and I play Zach Numen. And this might be the session where I have to make a Zach new character. So that might be good. I'm in a very dangerous situation, but I'm the character that's probably most likely to be of value in that situation. He's got shotgun skills, he's got some blaster skills, got my law baton when shotguns aren't good enough to break people's attitudes against me. Numen is very much supports justice and law and order, and he's punitive, but he's not like sadistic or like punishing in that sense. He's a tough guy. He's very physical, and I'm gonna hold my shotgun as I pass the mic over to
Brilliant. So shall we? Oh, sorry, you still?
Yeah, I took it the whole time.
There was just one person the entire time.
Good
All right.
grief. Go for it.
Who'd you pass it to, Mr. Pickles? Me? Okay.
Passed it to you.
All right. Hey everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo. I'm playing Arthur Hammond tonight. Many of you have been saying that you think the accent is Irish. Thing is, I can't do an Irish accent. And so everyone here knows what the accent I'm actually doing.
It's Scottish.
Jamaican.
Jamaican.
Right? You guys, that's obvious,
Jamaica?
right?
No, she did it herself.
Yeah, it's Jamaican. Okay, let's make sure everyone's on the same page. Arthur's he's the know-it-all, not know-it-all, but he's pretty cool actually. He's a jack of all trades, can create anything, knows science is kind of all throughout, and is kind of really the guy to go to kind of build that special thing you want to kill your enemies faster. But besides that, we're going to give the microphone to Medevac.
Thank you, sir. And you do know lots of things. Some of them aren't really important, but you do know lots of things.
Great at trivia, nothing else.
That's right. Hi all, I'm Medevac. I play James Minsk. He is a ship captain. He is A really nice guy. You would have loved him in your friendship group. He would be the best thing in your life. He knows how to woo people. He knows how to talk to people. He's not very good in a fight, though. He does tend to go like this a lot, slappy, 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 which doesn't work. He has a big hatred of Core, which is this big galactic company that is hell-bent on taking over the universe and spoiling the jobs that I do. I'm currently shipless. I said that correctly. And
it was close. I did
it's close. And at this moment in time, I'm about to use my negotiating skills to release a hostage, hopefully. He was holding a hostage, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He said, don't, if you come in, we'll kill him. So yes, and with that, I shall pass on to Purdy, our robot.
Yeah. Purdy's one of the, is the fourth member of the party who's a medic robot that helps the party when they are in trouble with medical needs. One of the things that I miss about not having Longshanks' character in this is that she had psionics, which would have been really... And one of the psionic abilities is actually a damage shield that they can actually put up to absorb incoming damage, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. I was just looking at shotgun and combat rate, and I think your 12 gauge combat shotgun has a firing rate of 1 or 8. I think that's what it says. So say
fire once or unload.
Yeah. So you can choose your full automatic fire goes with either 1 shot, you decide to do that, or automatic fire, which is all 8, which will expend the whole clip if there's still 8 bullets in that clip.
It basically means I can't do burst fire. Because mine is like 1/dash.
Yes.
1/8.
Exactly. Yeah. So you could do so an assault rifle has 1/320. So it could do single shot, burst, and fully automatic. Interestingly enough, a light machine gun just has --20. So it can't do single fire, it can't do burst fire, but it always does fully automatic, which is nice. Yeah, so you either do single shots or fully automatic. That's the two extremes of it. So as a quick synopsis, the party are under the employment of a businesswoman who works for Safe Haven called Angel Bright. Angel Bright has her own bodyguard called Mal, and they are on the trail of a rather devious pharmaceutical company who have been known, called Z Corp, who have been known to experiment pharmaceutical drugs on a range of, people, live people. And they are investigating, Angel Bright, along with the group now, are investigating the idea that Z Corp might have a base on Arid that actually might be producing some kind of new terraforming drug or bio drug that can basically wipe out or repopulate. A bit like the Genesis project in Wrath of Khan, if you've seen it. Not that I watched that video before I made this adventure up at all. So they found out there's several places that this facility might be on Arid, but luckily for them, they have found a ex-employee. The party got some inkling when they went on an excursion to the Dry Gypsy, which is a pub, a tavern in Arid. And then that was confirmed through a number of really successful influence roles by Minsk, the face, and things came together. Anyway, they came out to the trailer that you can see in the screen at the moment. The blue car and the green car belong to the party. But when they got there, they found that there were 3 taxis, or rather poor quality hover cars there as well. And they were sort of like in place, all ready to happen. There was this guy down here was out on guard and duty. Minsk drove the car, whipped it round using a superb navigation role, piloting role, managed to whack the guy as he tried to jump over the bonnet, caused him some damage, then pulled the car up quite nicely where it is at the moment. The guy went over the bonnet and disappeared down the other side. That's all the party know. They don't know where he is or anything like that. Numen burst open the door. This guy, and correct me if I'm wrong, this guy was actually over here. And I think you took a shot at him and he tried to evade and went over to one side. And he's now on the floor here. Or I think he must be on the floor, was he?
I think one of them, I got like 3 damage off their ear or something.
Yeah, that's this one. This is the one that's damaged here. And he's only got 1 action roll left. So I know that he probably did an evade over this one. This guy is down the other end, and they're all armed with automatic pistols. This guy here has the gun to the guy's head, ready to fire. Numen's in the doorway. Minsk, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got your back to the trailer in between the door and the window.
That's right. Yes, I'm literally shadowing the door, the other side of where. Where Numen is.
And Hammond is. Are you in the car, Hammond, or out the car?
I'm in the car.
In the car. Yeah.
But I was firing my weapon from in the car. I also have a drone over here somewhere.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and the only other thing to remind you is that Mal is protecting Angel Bright. So basically consider that he's taking care of that. I won't keep coming round the attack order to mention it, if that makes sense. Okay then, so we're heading straight back up. We're coming down, we're still in combat round 1, but we're coming down the second time. So some of you will still have action points left. In this game, in this version of Mythos, everybody just has 2 action points and that's it. So we're coming back down, and Hammond, you're first up on 19.
That's right. Oldest man, somehow the quickest boy. What? I'm Arthur's. Sorry, Arthur's going to jump out of the vehicle and try to head right behind the over here. Does it see this?
Okay, so you can getting out your vehicle will be your action, so you can be able to start moving over there when we do in combat round 2. Minsk, you're back up against the door. What would you like to do? No, back up against the wall. Sorry.
Against the side of the caravan, isn't it? Yeah. Well, Minsk, he kind of throws his brow a little bit when he hears this guy inside shout what you shouted, and he's going to say, "Hey, Fred, what do you mean by that? You're going to go away or you'll shoot him?" Was that what you said?
Okay, yeah. So you're going to
I'm going to try to open a dialogue.
Yeah. Okay. So this is like almost like a negotiation, isn't it? This is what you're trying for.
I want to put a little bit of, I won't say intimidation, but a little bit of influence. I'll be assertive when I'm saying that.
Yeah, and this is going to be an extremely hard role for you. Number one, because the guy can't see you, so the voice is coming from nowhere. He can see Numen, who's got a shotgun, out, and I think has already fired at
Oh yeah.
somebody else in the van. And
Only Numen.
Hey.
so knowing that, do you still want to make the roll?
Yeah, I still think that if I can calm things down just a little bit, and
Okay then.
sort of we're willing to talk,
Yeah.
and
So
just see how we go from there.
roll away.
Oh, it's not a good. Well, it's a very good roll, but it's not the roll I wanted.
Yeah. So
that's our,
you sort of like shout this out as as Numen's in the doorway, and we come to you, Numen, on 16 as well.
Well, Numen doesn't know about bad rules, and I'm here to back up my boss. So I'll probably take a step back or a half step back and say,
out of the trailer, or
I just want to move back enough where my gun isn't like pointed right directly at them, maybe a little bit more cover, but so they could probably still, I guess out of the trailer would be the only way to describe it.
So you'll if you step away, because remember the trailer door opens outwards, so you're sort of like half in, half out at the moment when you took your shot at the guy who dove at this side. You do have somebody behind you that you know that this guy is here. So you can sort of like back out if you want, but you will actually lose sight.
Yeah.
You'll be able to keep sight on this guy, but not on these.
Okay. Well, I like that even better then.
Because that would require you to come to Minsk's side to sort of like see it. So you sort of like back out of the corridor, out of the doorway. So just to let you know, Minsk, you now have a clear line to the two. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see the two on the left, and Numen can see one on the right.
Numen has a clear sight on the one on the right. Okay, so in this top thing that's happening here, this guy uses up his action point to get up because he was on the floor. So that's his action done. This guy, almost like you get the feeling that he's very how can I put this, on edge. He's seen Numen fire at his friend. Minsk, you're trying to do a good job as negotiating and trying to get people to, you're trying to diffuse the situation.
Exactly.
But the guy at the front that you can see, Minsk, he looks extremely edgy. Extremely edgy at the moment, and he's sort of like he's shouting out things like back up or he's dead, and back up or dead, and it means you can literally see the automatic pistol shaking, as he's shouting at you, there's spittle coming out and everything, and it's really putting the other two people who have their automatic pistols out on edge as well. And it seems to be almost like a standoff. Who's going to sort of like, well, we know who's made the first shot because Numen did that. But I'm going to do some rolls now, and then I'll tell you what they are in a second. Right, let me just change this. I remember now. Oh no, right, wait. These are not, I've got the wrong character sheet attached to the tokens. I remember now because it comes up. I need them to be protectors. That's what I need them to be. Right. And so they have a skill called I can use a pistol, if you remember. And you're sort of like, everybody's very tense, and a shot rings out, and it actually misses the person that it was aimed at. But Minsk, it whacks into the trailer, sort of like here. If that makes
just like near me there.
Yeah. And you sort of like, it sort of like pings into your side, and you sort of like look over, and this guy here is lying down on the floor and has just taken a pot shot at you with his automatic pistol. He is out on the floor, i.e. he's not stood up, but he takes a shot, and as you can see, misses, luckily, or not luckily, whichever way depending whose side you're looking at. I'm just change. Oh no, I'll leave it at there, man. I know it's 50. So yeah, that sort of like fires out of this one. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some willpower tests for some of these people to see how they actually react to what's actually happening roundabout. So let's open up their willpower, just to let you know well, you'll see their willpower score when they come up. Oh wow. They only have a willpower of 18.
Oh my life.
And the one that's holding the gun to the guy's head gets a 4, so actually manages
He's like proper, yeah.
Yeah, he if anything, he's keeping cool and not,
he's fanatical,
and not actually letting go of letting the pistol off. I don't believe that. That's okay. This is the next one along. Oh.
Stop stealing all of our crits.
Roll 20's brilliant.
So the next guy, so means the two people in your sight, it's maybe because your voice has had that really nice, cool,
it's reassuring
effect. They're still on edge, but you can see that they're holding it. And then the last one down here, he's the last one. It'd be unbelievable if I get a single figure. Well, I got to get under 18 to keep them all calm. Oh, no.
See, you jinxed yourself. She's just gone with the flow.
Yeah. So this last one doesn't sort of like take any of this on board at all, and he fires off his pistol. It's coming to you, Numen, because you are in the direct line of sight. He has hit you, so you can, if you wish, do a take cover roll. So that will be your combat style roll. So it's a bit like parrying. So he's hit you. It depends whether or not you get out of the way. If you get out the way, then you'll take half damage. Alternatively, you can use an action to evade, and that would be that you would literally leap out the way completely. You won't take any damage if you evade, but you will be prone for the beginning of the next round.
The law is going to take cover.
Okay then. So roll your so you managed to take cover as he shoots round the corner. So you quickly almost like sense, you're sort of like watching him, you see him shaking. You've seen a lot of showdowns like this out on the street, and you suddenly think, you get that slight premonition thinking he's going to lose it, and suddenly sort of like back away as the shot comes off. So you will be taking half damage for this. So he hits you 13.
That was the damage roll.
I know, me too. I was like, no.
Same.
Half of that's a
Oh
better.
my God. You've been taking half of
That's in my right arm.
That's in your right arm, and you take. This is the damage coming. You take 2 points. 2 points damage. That'll be 1 point of damage.
If it catches your coattail as you move out the way.
Which I think will be absorbed by your armor.
My 4 points of fancy flesh armor.
Because you have 4 points.
The thrift store won't accept it as a donation now.
Okay, that's brilliant. That's the end, and I know. Oh, hang on. Some people might still have. Does anybody still have action points left? You shouldn't have.
Taking cover still uses an action, even if you have the duck back special, right?
Yeah. So a duck back special is used when you attack. So you would shoot, and if you've got a special, you can use that special to duck back, which means that you're actually in cover for when somebody shoots at you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, then. So let's go on to combat round 2 then, and we're going back up to turn 1. So yeah, Hammond, you are ready to move or whatever. You've seen this gunshot go off and nearly hit Minsk, so you've got an idea that there's somebody behind that car. And you've also seen Numen take a hasty retreat as another gunshot's gone off from inside the trailer. So yeah, what would you like to do in your action?
If I can, I'm going to try to run. Where's the drawing thing? I think I'm essentially just trying to run right here, or as close to like right here, where I'm still kind of behind cover, but I can go in for attack.
Yeah, cool.
From behind.
You should have what's your run on your character? That's about 10 meters away.
Yeah, let me see really quick. Sorry, I just realized I don't have it up. I'm up.
Should have them on, I would have thought.
Where would I find
should be about 18. It's just below encumbrance, just below your attributes. Yeah.
So run is 18.
Yeah. So you start running across, and you get to that point as you continue to run. Okay, then that's your first action underway. Minsk, what would you like to do?
Again, I'm going to try this one last time. I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm armed here."
You're going to say what?
One of your guys, I'm going to say, "Hey, I'm armed here," and one of your guys is trying to shoot me. I thought we were going to talk.
So, are you saying to these people inside? Is that who you're
Yes.
saying?
Yeah, literally shouting through.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah, go for it. Roll away.
You do influence again?
Yeah.
Oh, still 51 out of 69. I wish it was opposed.
Yeah, but also remember, because you're repeating the same action, the
It's even
difficulty
harder now,
has
isn't
gone
it?
even harder now.
Yeah.
You use your skill for your action and try to bring calm to the situation. And Numen, you're up now. I just know what he's going to do.
Sorry, that was supposed to go better in my head.
Newman's losing patience. Just gonna keep on shooting at us. I think it's time to let the law take over. I'm gonna lay down the law. This is probably a stupid idea, actually, so I'm going to do it. I want to.
I always like Medivac's face when somebody says it's a stupid idea.
But it might just work.
Now I'm second guessing it, but that's okay.
Don't go instinct. Go for it. Go for it.
We're going to be heroes today, and I'm going to lean around the corner and do my automatic fire at the two that are clumped together.
Oh, wait, with the the guy, the person.
Was the guy being held as like a
hostage.
human shield, or was he on the floor? Because I thought he was on the floor
He's
initially.
kneeling on the floor, and the guy
Yeah.
at the back has a gun to his head.
So he would be one of the targets as well in this case.
Quite possibly, unless you are you doing?
That call shots, can you?
I'm
Well-
thinking of doing the full auto pointed at their
Yeah, so
torsos.
there's no chance that you'll be able to avoid one person in that. I mean, if you get a special and you use marksman or something like that, or choose location, then you could probably deal it up at the top of them. And, so go for the chest, which the other guy would be out of. But you would need to have a special to do that, especially if you're firing from the hip, which I presume you do with your shotgun. Or
I don't know how else to shoot a shotgun.
No,
I think
you can use your
shoulder.
shoulder. Yeah.
Oh,
easy.
right. Yes, I'm American. Yeah, I know these things.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So you come round the corner and
Yeah, I'm gonna try for it.
Level it off. Go for it.
So with full automatic, I have to roll for each of the targets.
Let me just get the
Evenly distributed across all the targets. I guess that's why I asked, because I have 8 shots. Is it divided by the 3 or is it divided by the 2?
I think it's going to have to be divided by the 3, which actually gives you another chance, because those 2 that is aiming for that guy could miss.
That's true. It could all miss, and that's going to be really embarrassing. So I need to roll for all 3 of them. Then.
Yeah. So let me just check. For it's going to be definitely the shooter decides how many rounds of ammo to fire. So how many's left in your box?
It should be 7 shots left.
7 shots. Okay, then.
So I think they each get 2 because the 7th shot is discarded.
Yeah. A separate attack roll is made for each target, but the difficulty grade of formidable due to the increased recoil effects of the sustained fire. Those targets who are hit suffer random number of rounds as per burst fire. Okay, then.
I think that would be in this case. I'd roll a d2 to see how many shells hit them.
Yeah. Okay, then. So let's start. You got 2 shots at each person. Yeah, is that what you're doing?
I roll once for each person, and then I see how many of the shots are likely to hit.
Okay, so let's.
One question though,
Yeah.
before we start this, I presume I can only use a luck point on one failure here.
Correct. Yeah. Oh no,
It's all the same action.
Yes, because it's all the same action, even though there's different roles in it. It's all one bullet shot. Yeah.
I would like to, if I may, start with to see if I hit the friendly person.
Okay.
This is that roll. Why?
Yeah. You could use a luck point.
Yeah, that's why I did it
Which
first. I'm gonna
reverse
use
it.
luck to reroll. Gross. This is my luck to reroll.
Okay.
Oh!
Yeah. Okay then. So
Okay.
the first that misses him. Yeah.
All
Can I
right.
just say we've never been happier to miss a shot ever.
Yeah.
and I hit it first. Okay. The second shot is going to be for the one who's holding the gun to his head. I
Okay.
guess.
Got you. Yeah.
Money.
Yes. Very.
This is starting to look like a good day.
Very nice shot. So you will actually have well, hang on, because I can evade the roll.
Yeah, come evade my. No, please don't.
So well, I can.
No, go for it.
There's no actual way that I can take cover. So he's going to have to evade out the way. Which he does succeed, but not for your crit. Your crit actually trumps that because it's a differential roll. So he tries to evade out the way, but you crit him. So you'll have one special which can be a crit. if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't get your normal one. You won't get 2 because there's only 1 difference. So he's going to dive out the way. So what crit do you want to use on him? It could be a normal special.
I was looking at drop foe versus duck back.
So duck back in this situation. Okay, then. So if you use duck back now, at the beginning of the next round, you're under cover. You're not stuck out or anything. So you literally, those 2 will not be able to fire back at you because you're back around the corner.
So it'd be like I just duck out and shoot off a bunch of shots and then back.
Duck back again. So this guy here would be able to fire at you, but you're not sort of like still out there. If not, what you do is that you come out and you fire your shotgun and you're still there. You can still use take cover, but you're still there. If you use duck back as a special, you will not be in this position. You'll be back round the door. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's what I'd like to do. Duck back is kind of my friend.
Okay then. So that'll be so do some damage for me because
let me see how many shells hit.
Oh yes, good. So it's
here is
1d2 then. Just one shell. Yeah.
And should I do the hit location on him?
Yeah. Hit location and then
20.
some damage.
His right arm most likely.
Right arm. Let me see which one.
It's holding the gun on him.
I think
he's probably lefty.
This is for what number is 2? This one's 3.
And here is my damage.
It's going to be
14.
14 on number 3. If I can.
Your arms off, man.
Number 3.
I thought you might try kill silently as your special.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been excellent if that actually came off. Kills silently. This is number 3. So what did you do, sorry?
14 damage.
Okay then. So he needs to make an endurance check, which he fails. So you actually blow. Literally, he's only got in his right arm. He's only got 4 points of damage, 4 hit points there. He's not wearing any armor, so that literally blows his arm off, and he's actually he failed his endurance roll on it. So. So that would be a major wound, and he's sort of like out for it. He's completely out. He can't continue to fight at all.
Excellent.
So
my next guy?
Yeah, so next guy along.
I knew this was a good idea until I get a critical failure.
I was going to say, if you fumble
Don't do it! No, knocking on the woods. Knocking on the wood.
Big money.
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
That hits. Fine.
It has to be formidable though, in this case with the full auto.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no.
Sorry to snitch on myself.
Yeah,
but...
and no, so and you can't look that at all, can't you? Because you've already
I got the guy I wanted and I saved the guy I wanted, so you know.
Yeah.
So bait next.
So
you shot the talky one, that's the most important thing.
And the other guy, you probably spent the majority of it sort of like aiming at him to sort of like knock him down, and sort of like that's it. So he's out for the count, and then you duck back as your special, don't you? So you're back in here. And yeah, it's our turn to fire. So this guy now, I mean, there's no chance of stopping this now. He's going to take a pot shot at you, Zach. You can, Numen, you can, of course, take cover from this if you wish.
I probably do.
Yeah, he hits you with his automatic pistol, so you can use an action to take cover?
Taking cover. Haha.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you will actually get one special over me. You'll have a defensive special.
Let's see. I just pulled it up. My defensive options. Accidental injury. Is that possible?
I don't have mine up at the moment, but we can definitely look at it. That sounds excellent. I love the idea.
I just have the grid that's like the special effects. If it's offensive, defensive. Oh
Yeah,
no, that's only attacker fumbles. My bad.
Oh, which one did you say?
Accidental damage.
Oh, accidental injury would work.
It says on mine that the attacker has to fumble for that. Is that?
Oh, attacker fumbles. Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my apologies.
So you have
Blind opponent, defender critical. How would you blind the opponent with that?
I don't get defender criticals.
what's that say?
That's almost like you have to be in melee and like hit
Yeah,
their gun.
yeah, you quickly run up and go.
Smack them in the eye or something.
Yeah, and one thing that I really notice is that a lot of these are set up for.
It's more melee, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think they've done an especially good job in sort of like transferring them over. I'm just
What's on the other defensive criticals over here? Injury,
counter.
force failure. Defender criticals pin one of his opponent's weapons or shit.
Force failure is when the opponent fumbles. So I haven't.
Maybe his gun jams.
Let's have a look what we've got. You don't need to rise.
Free.
You could, if you wish, you could use enhance parry.
Parry and stand up.
Enhance parry.
Yeah. So what that would be is that you use your defensive critical. So you're going to take half damage from me, even though you duck back. So an enhanced parry would be like an enhanced duck back. So basically what you would do is, because you duck back so well, you'll take no damage from the bullet at all. It'll just ricochet in. It was hitting you, but because of your crit, then it was no. You can do rapid reload. Okay, so your barrel is actually empty now, isn't it?
Correct.
So rapid reload allows you to take 1 point off your reload. So your reload is 3. So it'll be down to 2. So you'll need 2 actions, which means that the next round, combat round 3, you'll be able to reload your shotgun. And rapid reload is stackable. So you can sort of like keep adding it to it. So you do it in one fair swoop. I
do kind of like the rapid reload.
I think in this situation, what would be the best ones to do is either enhance take cover, so you take no damage from this roll that's coming in at all, or rapid reload and reduce your time from, I think it's 3 at the moment, from 3 to 2.
3. I think I'm going to do enhanced parry. Just make it so I don't take any damage. Okay, that's going to be the worst situation.
So this roll would have come in on your head, on your 10, sorry, whatever that was. But you managed to avoid that, and you duck back just as it sort of like comes firing off from the back of the trailer. My guy behind the car is going to take a pot shot at you, Minsk. And he's going to hit you. Now you're going to have to evade. unless you want to take cover by going into the trailer, which is probably not a good idea. So, but you can evade it if you wish.
Yeah, I'm gonna push myself off the side of this towards my car when I hear the snap, and I will try and evade.
Cool.
Is my evade as good as? Oh no, it's not.
So remember, this would be an action point, so you'll be out of action points. As is Numen. Numen's out of action points, aren't you?
Time to help us out, Hammond.
Actually,
or you can take the shot.
I can't just dodge it. You say
you can evade it,
but I can't.
You can't take cover because there's nowhere to take cover.
I actually do want to go in there, but Numen's killed people. Right, okay. I'm a bit rubbish at evading, so here we go.
Oh, should be a good one then.
Yeah.
Mr. Luck Point?
No, do you know what? Character-wise, he wouldn't. He's pushed off. He's probably tripped on his untied shoelace at the same time and not gone very far.
Okay, so
yeah.
This shot is coming into your 16.
Oh, it's fine. It's the left arm for a change.
Oh, that's nice. I like to
variation
mix it up for 5 points of damage. So that would go through your 4.
Yeah, and take 1 off that.
And take 1 off your arm.
Yeah.
And okay, and that's me done. That's combat round turn 2, turn 1 done. So we're going back up to the top now for turn 2. And Hammond, you're up.
As that guy stood up, I'm assuming to shoot
Which
Minsk.
guy? This guy's
he's laid down.
He's laid down in a prone with the gun, mainly because his legs are a bit squashed because of they're all right, but they're just not. So you can come around and take a shot if you wish.
Thinking, this one thing we haven't really worked on. This is the ability to get someone to give up just by pointing your gun at them.
No, that's compel surrender.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
It's the same. What you would do is get a special and then compel surrender, just like in Mithras. So you would get a special, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna aim my gun at him, and wait for that. I guess just fire. Well, should I either fire or see if I succeed and then compel surrender?
You need a special to get compel surrender.
Okay.
I mean, at the moment, trying to influence him is not going to work. But if you take a shot at him, he probably realizes that he's out, or you might just blast his head off.
I'm probably just gonna go. No matter what, I'll just go and see if I just blast his head off.
Okay then. So you sort of take a step round. He's prone. He's not looking in your direction at all. So yeah, you can take a shot at him.
Back of the brainstem.
Yeah, that hits him. He can't do anything. So you got a special. So you can do hit location. I presume is it a blaster you're firing?
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna do max damage.
Okay. Yeah. So is max damage a critical in this one? On a critical, yeah.
It might, yeah. That might be. I don't know. You have to look. If not,
yeah, it is. I've just got it up. Yeah, it's.
Then I'll call shot for his head.
Choose location. So is it?
Yeah.
Is it in? It'll be in close range, won't it? Because it has to be in close range to. Is choose location. But choose location is a critical success, unless the target is within close range. Yeah.
Okay.
It has used that all the time to do this.
Or is either stationary or unaware of the attack. So so you can call shot head.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Just like going for the
Do some
1D.
damage for me.
Is it 1d8? Right. That's what
Yeah, yeah. Well, it'd be 3 points into his head, the poor guy. Let me just call up his sheet. Yeah, so he has, what number is this? Number 1. Okay, this is the one that's had his legs damaged.
He's recently had brain surgery, which means his hit points are really down.
Yeah, so 3 points of damage. So yeah, you that takes it down to 2 hit location, 2 points in that hit location. So you graze past his head as you fire. So he's now aware that you're there. And Minsk, you're up.
This is still turn round 2, isn't it? So I don't have any action points.
Yeah. So you're
am I actually prone that I failed my evade?
Yeah. So,
I'm still prone.
Yeah. So no matter what, whether or not you succeed or fail as a evade, you automatically end up prone.
Yeah.
Hence why it's not the best
go
thing
to
to
thing.
do. Yeah. So you'll be out of actions now, are you? Yeah. And
Yes, indeed.
Numen, you're out of actions.
Sadly.
Yeah. Okay then. So this,
unless you can use a luck point to get an extra action, can't you?
You can. Yeah.
I don't think this is the time to pull that shenanigan though. So I was just checking.
Okay. So this guy here will roll over and just sort of like fire a pot shot at you, Hammond. It's going to actually be hard rather than his standard roll to hit you. He's still got 1 action because he's fired, and then he did nothing the next round, so he's still got 1 action. It's going to be hard, like I said. Yeah, and he gets that hard roll off. You won't have any actions left.
Does him turning around on his back to shoot me, is that an action though?
No, it's not.
Or is that okay?
Just the same as you going around the bottom of the car wasn't an action. The action was to shoot. Can you see it? Yeah. So he whacks off a shot into your 7.
Okay.
And he does 1d6 plus 1. So I'll just roll a d6 for. He does 5 points of damage to your 7.
My 7 is my abdomen.
Yeah, and you'll have 4 AP there, won't you?
Yeah.
So you take 1 point of damage as he fires his shot off there.
Okay.
This guy here, you can see him, Minsk. I'm going to get him to roll his willpower. If he succeeds, i.e. gets less than 18, he's going to continue to fight. If he doesn't succeed, then he's going to give up. I do think it's going to be a hard roll because he's just seen Numen blast his friend. Well, there's probably a nice smudge on the wall somewhere. So here's his willpower roll. Oh, so he fails, and so he's not going to continue to fight. He sort of like drops his weapon and sort of like claims that he's giving up. This guy here, okay, he's going to roll willpower, but it's only going to be a standard roll because he nearly hit Numen last time. But he fails as well, and sort of like says surrender and sort of like gives himself up. And this guy down here, the one on the floor in front of you, will make one now as well. Yeah, and he's quite prepared to give up, and you hear them sort of like they drop their weapons and hold their hands up in the universal signal for surrender.
High five.
Yeah. Numen, this is probably when you will take we're coming out of combat rounds, but I think Numen, you will probably take the next. Somebody in the chat says, I just looked at Mr. Pickle and he was doing his gun pose for a second. I thought it was last week's.
Hi guys, just Mr. Pickles here.
Yeah. So yeah, I think being the law, etc., Numen would probably head on in there to sort of like do the situation. Hammond, you've got this guy in front of you, so we'll let you decide what you're going to do with this guy. Mince, you can get up, obviously.
I'm going to dust myself off and look disappointed in myself, and nobody saw that.
Somebody says, "Oh, sorry, James, did you fall then?"
No, I was just tying my shoelace.
Oh, you were a bit clumsy there and fell on the floor.
You know, it's vertigo. I'm so tall and handsome that.
Numen, you go in. Nobody knows that your shotgun is empty at the moment, by the way. So nobody was counting bullets. So what would you like to do, Numen, as you go in, being the law?
Thank you for using my proper title.
Yeah.
As the law, I'm going to confiscate their guns, first off, keeping my gun prepared and also reassuring them, you don't have to die today. I'll take their guns and then get the living ones out. And then I'd probably go to talk to Purdy to get help for bleeding, had the gun to his head, as well as...
Okay, so you go in, and the first thing, as you go in, you're a bit taken back because you hear the crack of a gunshot, and you immediately come up to ready position, and you notice that the guy to your left seems to look, his weapon's on the floor, and you suddenly notice that the weapon's no longer on the floor, and the guy there sort of like looks quite shocked. And then you notice a dribble of blood coming from his mouth and spreading towards his shirt. And he just sort of like totters for a while and then just falls forward. And you notice that the guy who was on his knees.
Oh, the hostage.
Yeah. Has this guy's gun and has just popped it off at him. And he probably says an expletive that I'm not going to say, but obviously takes the shot and sort of like knocks this guy out. So this one is dead as well, which leaves... So you can get this one outside. Yeah, is that what you want? And
at this point, I'd probably also want to reassure this prisoner, we're not here to harm you, we're here to help you.
Okay, and
to be fair, at that point, once he moves out, I would then move into the hostage.
Yeah, and Purdy's there as well. Hammond, what do you want to do with your...
I'm gonna hold my gun towards him, approach him, and then take his gun from him.
Yeah. So you also notice that one of his legs is quite badly beaten up or squashed. He doesn't look like he can walk.
Mm-hmm.
So you just...
Stuff happens.
Good. That's on it. He shot me. Good.
So you have his gun and he's there. So Minsk, you with the help of Purdy, and you notice that Mal and Angel Bright now come out. You know, the danger is over, and she comes in with you, Minsk, to look at the hostage, and we'll come to you guys in a second. Numen, what are you going to do? There's this one guy now that you probably got some cable ties somewhere in your backpack that you can tie him up if you want to tie him up, or are you just going to leave him?
I mean, he's at gunpoint. I probably will cable time for now, just to be safe. And since I saw Minsk going inside, my goal is to keep this guy contained, but also to maybe pry a little bit and ask him what he's doing here. But it's Numen, so
do you have
might be a bit gruff.
Do you have an interrogation skill?
No, and I might be wrong with my interpretation, but when I took Streetwise, I thought maybe it would be like a little bit of knowledge I could apply to an influence skill, perhaps, like being familiar with how people make money in crime and trying to relate in that sense.
Okay.
Like, who's paying you to be here? Oh, you getting this much? That's not, you're being underpaid.
And
or something, I don't know.
You want to influence him to what end?
To share what he knows about his employer here, why he's being paid to be here, who that guy is going to kill us.
So you can use your Streetwise to augment your influence roll if you wish.
It's weird. I don't see the augment button anymore, even when I'm selected. It's just 20% of the skill, though, right?
Yeah. What's your skill?
65, so that'd make it a 13.
Let's have a look.
Is it right at the bottom left below in Wells?
Clicking on myself, I just don't even see anything now.
I've got augment and blind roll right at the bottom, on the bottom left of my screen.
Yeah.
Have you found, if you go to up at the top, if you go do you have the 3 bullet points?
I used to, but I don't see them now for some reason.
But you know, on the actual roll, on roll 20, the first tab is a speech bubble. And then you'll have your characters. Do you have one that says collection when you hover over it?
I'm lost now.
It's next to the cog, top right hand side of your screen, above the text chat.
Right the way up at the top.
You've got dot line, dot line, dot line.
Oh, I think I see it now. Yep, I see it now. Okay, I fixed it. For some reason, those got unchecked.
Yeah.
It's probably when I disappeared from the campaign temporarily.
Yeah, it's 13% in any case. You are right.
Adding that to my influence brings it to a 42. So this is me trying to be chummy. I'm a little scared. Did I get the zip ties tight enough?
Yeah, and you sort of like, he seems to be very not. You get a feeling that you either don't hold the same sway here, or you know that you lack that badge of the Shield Corporation to actually encourage them. He lets out a few grunts and obscenities now and again, but that's really about it. There's nothing forthcoming from him at all. So Minsk, you're in the trailer and you've got there's 2 dead bodies in here. the back of the wall is nicely smeared.
It's like a Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, and this guy, this ex-worker is sort of like getting to his feet. Angel Bright's with you as well. What's going to be the course of action here?
I'm going to put myself between the hostage and Angel Bright, but in the same time, I'm going to look to Angel Bright and say, "There you go."
Yeah. So are you happy to allow Angel Bright to sort of ask the person things, or?
Yes, yeah. And I'm going to be listening very intently to the answers to those things.
Okay then. So let me just get her dice roll for her influence.
I will be sorry. My other thing I wanted to do was sort of hold up my hand for the pistol in his hand.
Yeah, he's quite happy to give you that. He seems to be pleased at what he's actually succeeded at. Yeah, there seems to be Angel Bright seems to be trying to do her best. She's not as that good at influence to succeed with a 90. And there seems to be some backwards and forwards going on. And he seems to be very reticent to actually hand over information. You do notice that round the trailer, there seems to be quite a bit of alcohol bottles and things like that. He's obviously living a life of, shall we say, drunkenness. Minsk, roll a perception check for me.
This is Jack Malone, isn't it? We're talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to get that right in my head. A perception check.
No, it's
Certainly.
it's one of the baddies actually pretending to be,
yes.
and he has a cortex bomb in his head that does it. Yeah. So you sort of like when Angel Bright is sort of like asking him things, and Mal's sort of like making sure that she's not in danger at all. And you sort of like have a look around the trailer. She's doing her business. And you do actually manage to see what appears to be a work card, something that you would clip onto your jacket or something. It shows, it doesn't have any image on it at all. There seems to be a barcode on it, and that's about it. The other thing that you do notice is that it is damaged. It looks like it might have been at one point tried to snap in two. So there is a sort of like a crack across the barcode. It's very strange because there's no other form of identification on it apart from the barcode.
The barcode. It's like a blank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's still
add what you want to add and reprogram it for whatever.
Yeah, and it's still in its plastic, and it still has the clip on it. So it's obviously used to clip onto something.
Yes.
It might be unregistered, or it might be that the company doesn't want to give away information if somebody finds it.
So seeing this, I will just casually walk over and pick it up and say, "So Jack, what's this for?"
Yeah, and roll your influence check now, and let's see how this goes. Oh, you're getting a little bit better now. You're getting into your thing. Oh, he fails his willpower
at the point
quite dramatically, and he sort of like he talks to you, and he sort of like says, "That's not yours. Don't touch that. I don't see why you should be. Give me that back." But he also talks about things about being a different life. He's no longer doing that anymore, and you definitely get the feeling that it's probably his previous
alter ego,
or his previous ID card, maybe. Angel Bright's incredibly interested in it, and sort of like has a look at it, and she gets out a hand scanner and starts to scan it backwards and forwards. Just while all that is happening, Hammond, you're down with your guy here. You're unarmed. Are you going to accidentally shoot him?
Cyrus would, but this guy, Arthur, wouldn't. No, I'm gonna tie him up. So he's on his stomach, hands behind the back, tie him up, just kind of leave him there.
Okay.
I'm gonna then at that point search their vehicles. I want to see if maybe I can find any equipment that maybe would be useful to me.
Okay. Roll your perception check.
Brand new state-of-the-art drones. Brand new state-of-the-art drones.
Pretty much.
There's a huge,
or just items to make drones.
There's a huge box of grenades. Do you wish to look it?
Yes, I do.
Which will give you
very much
37 out of 39, which will be successful.
Yeah.
each of the cars, you check them all. There seems to be numerous fast food containers. It looks like people have been eating in the front and tossing it to the back. There are some things like 9mm spare ammo packs. That is probably from their weapons. There's the odd baseball bat in some of them, in a variety of them, but there seems to be nothing that bears any resemblance to technology. They seem to be very low tech. The other thing, just roll a mechanical skill for me, please.
Absolutely. Mechanics.
Yeah, do you have mechanics?
Yeah.
The other thing that you notice about all three vehicles is that they are pretty dire. They're not top of the range or anything. One of them probably has an oil leak somewhere. Another one of the grav drivers are not functioning at 100%, probably something like 95%. You don't think that these people come from a gang or a group that has a lot of money. No chance at all. Compared to your brand new two-person high-speed hover car, these are dire. You know, you don't think you would even let your mom ride in one of these. There's so many issues with it, but it maybe gives you an indication of the sort of people they are. Numen, is there any, you're sort of like guarding this guy now. Is there anything else you want to do?
Seeing Hammond going through all the cars, and I probably faintly hear Minsk talking. It's probably the best place for me. Don't want to mess up the investigation.
Okay. So the next thing that I need to know is what you all plan doing on next. You know that this guy was an ex-employer. Do you wish to try to ascertain where it might be? Do you want to? Is the plan to take him back to the starport by force if necessary? Purdy's doing up his wounds, by the way. He has a lot of light minor wounds, bruising, slight cuts, things like that. He doesn't have any gunshot wounds or anything of that nature at all.
Well, we need to find out why these other guys were here. We also need to find out more information from Jack Malone as to why he's hiding out, what he's done, where the base is on this planet, if there is one. Was that right? Was it Z Corp, wasn't it? We were looking into.
Yeah. The trouble is now that Angel has failed her influence role. I mean, she can try again. It's whether or not are you all happy to stay out in this location at the moment, or
not really. What I would say, I'm going to turn around to Harmony and say, why don't we take him
Harmony?
back to your?
Who's Harmony?
Angel
Harmony
Bright.
Lee.
Oh, do you know what? Angel Bright, sorry, that's my bad.
It's not Captain Scarlet and the Angel, Destiny, Harmony, and Melody.
Well, I know it's this group whose Captain Black is.
Yeah, da 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 da.
Yeah, sorry, to Angel Bright and say, perhaps we should take him to your ship where we have more time and perhaps comfort to question him. I want to have a quick chat with the two outside, see if I can find out who sent them here, because it's a little bit of a coincidence that we turn up and they're holding him hostage and trying to question him by the looks of it.
Okay, then. So
I was planning just to step on the guy in front of me. I'm stepping on his wound and then just say, "Hey, who's your employer?" Essentially.
See, I don't know how Numen, because we're only just really meeting as a sense, how Numen would react to what I'm going to do. But
I'm not going to torture anybody.
I'm not going to torture anybody either.
torture is such a subjective term, you know. It's like, what is torture, you know?
Aim
So
with
All right.
no
okay,
purpose.
so here's the issue. Let's talk about the guy. I forget his name in the trailer.
Jack.
Jack.
Jack
Thank
Malone.
you. Okay, so the issue with Jack at the moment is that Angel Bright's, failed her influence role. We
don't know that. So,
yeah. But so he's going to require some kind of persuasion to get him to come back to the base. Otherwise, he's just going to stay there, and then that'll be it. Now, of course, you can take him back against his will.
But that will be very talkative when he gets there. It's more another captive.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a psychotic one as well.
So, Mince, you can if you wish. So this will now be another hard roll if you wish to try to
placate him.
To sort of like mitigate what's gone on before and try to talk him round, friend on friend, etc., etc. So,
well, I'll tell you what I will do is I will pour a couple of glasses of anything that's left, and I'll hand him a glass, and we'll sit down together, and I'll say, Jack, they found you. We found you. You seem like you're a genuine person, but there are a lot of people apparently out there who want to kill you or find out what you know. We are not those. We just want information from you, and you can quite happily go on your way. We'll even pay you if you need to get a new identity, or Angel Bright over here will, because she's been looking into what we've been doing, or what we are doing now for quite some time, and she's trying to stop it. There's this toxin that's out there. It's frightening. Don't you want to do something about it to stop it?
So while your influence skill, it's going to be hard now because it's the second time.
In that speech.
Yeah.
Can't really use a point of luck and reverse that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So have a point of luck.
While you're talking about the toxin, by the way, even that slight bit of information, Angel Bright definitely gives you a quick look, as if to say you probably said too much. So Jack's more than happy now. He accepts that, he might be in danger here. So he's quite happy for you guys to put himself in your protection, if that makes sense. He's happy to drive back to you. Just to let you know, Angel Bright's not prepared to take him onto her ship, but she's more than happy for him to come back. So that will get you back into Arid with Jack there.
Just to refresh my memory, does Angel Bright, she has an apartment, didn't she?
She lives on the ship.
Oh, that's right, she lives on the ship, sorry.
Yeah, that she hired.
So we'd then have to find somewhere to keep him.
Well, you can probably keep him in your accommodation.
I think we should get a game of cards going and treat him as company and try and weasel some information out of him through recreation and alcohol.
Recreation drugs. Okay then. So that sort of like covers that person. You've got two gang members. Hammond, did you want to stand on this guy's wound and ask him questions?
Screw it. Why not? I'm going to stand on his wound and ask who the player is. So this, I'm assuming it's an influence check, right?
Yeah, but before we do this really gives us a really interesting background to Hammond, because he's prepared to do this. Well, Numen is obviously not prepared to do something like this, but Hammond is prepared to do it in order to get what he wants, so to speak. So yeah, roll your influence.
There's a small reason why. The biggest reason would be that these people are our friends. They shot at us. Yeah.
Do you wish to look it?
No, I'm gonna save my other bit of luck. Joby, you fail. No.
Okay, then. So this guy obviously does let out a scream. As you stand on his wound. He's probably got like a shattered leg where Minsk drove his car into. So you sort of like put it on there. Numen, you will hear this no matter what from there. So Minsk, can you just roll a perception check, because you're actually in the trailer. I'm just going to...
I had nothing. I know nothing.
Yeah. But Angel Bright does hear it. And Mince, you don't know what she's heard, but she suddenly turns round and she sort of like says, "What was that?" And she makes her way to the door. Numen, you've heard it as well. If there's anything you want to do.
There is something I'd like to do. I'll just like turn sharply and shout, "Knock it off, Hammond." And then turn promptly back to the fella that I'm in charge of.
Yeah, and Angel Bright sort of like comes out, sort of like saying, "What's going on here?" And Numen, that's probably when you suddenly say, "Knock it off, Hammond." And she sort of like looks over, and she can probably see the head of the guy on the floor, and Hammond, who's probably stood up, and she sort of like looks over to you, and she's not trying to influence or anything. She sort of like says something along the lines of, "So this is how you work." Nobody actually heard the questioning. They just heard the scream happen. So it just looks like you're sort of like twisting his leg or something. So, Minx, you've made a really good impression on Jack, so he's happy to come back with you.
It'll be a case of can my friend Mal and Purdy help you onto our car?
Yeah, and that's my next problem. I hate to be pedantic about it, but...
It's a 4-seater and a 2-seater, isn't it?
It is a 4-seater and a 2-seater.
Do you know what?
There is a way around it.
Somebody's going to take a taxi.
Yeah, and it'll have to be Mal if Mal has a drive ability.
Yes,
he does. He does have a drive ability.
Okay, then Mal's going to have to take one of the gross taxis.
Okay, then. So
he's the only
why is it
with that
gross?
ability.
Say again, son.
Why is it a gross tax?
It's held together by other people chewing.
Yeah,
them.
well, he's not taking the one down here that has a bit of muscle, blood splatter from Hammond kicking that guy's leg or standing on it. It went both ways.
We're okay. I just want to take a second. We're all like, "Oh my God, Hammond's trying to hurting this guy's wound." You crushed this man's legs with your car.
Yeah, no judgment on the leg crushing.
That's a purely accident. I'm on sand. I don't know how sand drives.
I think this situation is slightly...
He shot me!
Slightly different.
Hang on, stop. He shot me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to go talk to him too.
If I'm not killing him, I'm just, he needs to tell us why he's here.
At which point I'll come out and I will step out to this chappie here, and I want to look him in the eye, and at which point you'll see I'll hold up my hand, and the hand nostril will shoot out into my hand. I'll just twitch it so it flies out, and I'll say there's 3 ways this can end today. We can untie you, and you can jump in one of your vehicles and go away. We can leave you tied up here, or a third option where you don't leave here whatsoever.
Yeah, so he just says to you, "Well, I'll go."
But you need to tell us why you're here first.
He sort of like looks almost like stupidly at you, and sort of like said, "Were we were told to beat that guy up.
All right. And who told you this?
He sort of like looks at you and says, Bob.
Bob, duh.
One second.
Obviously.
Bob.
Good old Bob Duh.
And he sort of like
Bob.
says, am I free to go
That
now?
guy.
And holds out his... Because I think this one's cable
Hang
tie.
on, isn't Bob dead? You told about Bob, I'm sure of it.
Obey.
Go to my notes, sorry. Sorry to be the killjoy of the...
That's fine, Minx. We can be out here a little longer.
Looking up the rays.
I don't remember, Bob.
I get the feeling this fella doesn't really know too much. Seems like the sort that's a...
Yeah, it might be Bear I'm thinking of, sorry.
Or Box.
Or Bear.
That begins with a B as well.
He's at the pub though, isn't he, Box?
Box is the proprietor of the Dry Gypsy, yeah.
I think this guy here, he gets jobs the same way we'd get jobs. It's anonymous sources, and with the level of skill involved with beating up somebody in a trailer, I'm guessing there's a lot of anonymous.
So yes, so it'd be a case of just cut his ties and say, look, if we see you again, this will end differently. Have a good day now.
And what about Hammond's punch bag?
Well, I think we should get this guy. You're going to need to drag your friend off too.
Purdy's a little bit concerned as I says, he is rather injured. Shall I perform first aid on him?
That's going to be up to you guys. I don't care.
Purdy
Do you
and I
know
have a
what?
love-hate relationship. We don't talk much.
Yeah. Do you know what, Purdy? Make him comfortable, stable,
I think,
but nothing more.
Yeah, I think she's quite happy to do that, and she would probably want to do something like that to make sure that she's
It's a duty of care thing, isn't it?
Just. It's a really good role, but two more and she would have done something different to him. Okay then, so these two thugs get into one of the cars and drive off at Mark's speed, quite slow speed. One thing that you do notice as they pull away, one of them sticks their hand out the window and gives you the finger.
Nice greeting.
A
gesture of trust and kindness.
Hammond, have you got that drone still?
I'm just should I do my finger guns at him?
Yeah.
Back at you.
Or we could do real guns.
Real guns. Hammond, is it worth you having a look inside this thing to see if there's anything inside this caravan? To see if there's anything worth mechanical or anything that he's been tinkering with?
In
or
the
electronic?
Oven, in the oven, there's a spare drone. It's just
spare drone. Was there a computer or anything in there?
No.
There might be a fax machine.
And is that it? Is that a nuclear battery inside?
Yeah, there's actually several grenades stuffed underneath a pillow as well. That one of the things that is quite obvious about the trailer is that it doesn't have a lot of the mod cons at all.
Very low tech.
You think it probably has a battery that recharges via solar panels, to actually keep things up and running. And that's it. So, right, okay then. So we'll head back to Arid. And let's say that, are you happy to take Angel Bright to your place?
Yeah, it's not very tiny. It's not kind of,
Well, if I beat you guys there, I can be tied up the place a bit.
So it's whether or not it's whether or not you want her present at your friend making session.
No, in that case. Yeah, okay, no, in that case. I personally would say, Angel, Miss Bright, why don't you go back to your ship and maybe have a spruce up, refresh yourself. This sand is awful.
Okay, she will insist that Mal stays with you.
That's fine.
The other thing, Minsk, what's the plan with the card? Are you, because you found that, are you
Yeah, I
going
mean,
to...
I've told, I will tell, obviously, Numen and Hammond. Which one of you two would be better to look at security items?
Security items?
Well,
What do you mean?
I know about the law.
No.
So it'd probably be a computer skill to figure
Yeah.
out what's happening. So it's
Not
whether or
me.
not you're telling... Are you telling Angel about it or not? See,
Not at the moment.
yeah,
No.
that's fine. It's just that you found
It's not a
it.
deceit thing. It's a case of, I'm just going to,
Okay, then. So everybody will head back. Angel, make sure that that Mal is with you. That's a condition. But you drive past the star point and drop her off. And she's quite pleased to be able to go and brush up. You know, she's been in the middle of a gunfire. And you head back to your abode, and that's a good place to take our break. It's 25 to, so we'll have a quick 10-minute break. We'll be back at 1:45. So if you're watching the stream, thank you very much. Just to let people know, if you spend your channel points, I can't do dabbing and things like that when I'm GMing, but I'll remember next time. Yeah, so go and grab yourself something to drink, and we will be back in 10 minutes time. So if you're going away, please come back. Okay, be right back. And you are...
America.
Yes.
So about the Jerusalem thing.
Put it this way, I'm close to going postal at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then. So I've been having, I think about social skills and things like that, and just on the break, but in general as well. So we're going to do something slightly different for the back at base, have a chat thing. So we're going to use the conflict pool system for this. So basically, what I think, Hammond, you used it when you were buying your car, and I think Minsk used it for something else. So the general idea of it is that we allocate what we want to get out of it, i.e. we want to persuade them to give information about whatever. We then have skills that are involved, what skills you're going to roll, and then an attribute that becomes the conflict pool. So that's up on your character sheet. There should be somewhere that says conflict pool, and it's probably 11 out of 11. That's what it defaults to. But say, for example, I said the conflict pool is your strength, then you would change those two figures to your strength and then knock one off. And then what we're going to do, we're going to do this, and let me get to the end of this. I don't like giving benefits for role playing, because I think somebody who maybe not a good role player should still be allowed to do social skills. But
Totally.
But what I am fine about doing is adjusting the difficulty due to certain influences. So if you're sort of like saying, for example, on this one, instead of it being standard, your rolls might be easy because you're in your place, you're playing cards, you're drinking alcohol. Can you see? So that would sort of like set the scene. So your dice rolls would be standard, would be easy rather than standard. So it's not exactly what you say, it's more what you use in order to bring it forward. So
I think the guy's idea was to, and I think it's brilliant, was to play him with copious amounts of alcohol while we have the smaller amount.
So the damage that you always do, unless otherwise stated by me, is 1d6. That's what you use. But there is a length of time. Okay, and this is the important thing. So if I give you another idea about a conflict pool, say for example, Hammond wanted to use his computer skills to hack a program, then each round might be an hour. So for an hour, he would roll his computers. If he wins, he will reduce the conflict pool by 1d6, but the computer program also rolls and can reduce Hammond's conflict pool. Okay, once your conflict pool gets down to half, you have a choice. You either withdraw, or all your rolls become one difficulty higher. Okay, so it's a bit like, if you imagine it in this situation, and I'm going to give you some options in a second. You're all here sort of like talking to each other, having a laugh, etc. And everybody decides to roll. And maybe Hammond and Numen don't succeed with their roll, but Jack does. And he might do damage to your conflict pools. And all of a sudden, halfway through the night, Numen's conflict pool is down to half. So Numen might at that point say, look, okay, guys, I've had enough of this now. I'm off. So they step out of the combat pool and the conflict. If they wish to stay, then that's fine, but their scores would be harder. The same as with with Jack. He might get down to half and just say, all right, I'm not going any further. I'll just tell you what you need to know. And then that would be it. Okay. I can see Newman's typing. I'm really excited.
Just had to put it out there.
Jack makes fun of Newman's mom. He was
my conflict pool will just be drained to zero immediately, and I will throw down my cards and storm off.
So I'm going to there's several ways you can do team rolls. Okay, so we can, if you wish, you can use 2 of them to augment somebody else's roll. Okay, so that would mean if Hammond and Numen, augment Minsk's roll, then it's only Minsk that has the conflict pool. Okay, Numen and Hammond don't have anything. They don't do any rolls. It's just Minsk that's doing it, but they're at the table. The alternative way to do it is to all be involved. So you've all got your conflict pool. Any damage that Jack does goes to you all. But when it comes to your rolls, Minsk, I think, has the highest influence roll. So you would roll the dice, Minsk. Now, if you succeed, say, for example, what's your influence roll? What's your skill?
69.
69. So say, for example, you rolled a 40, you would win and you would do 1d6. Numen, that will be successful for your influence, won't it?
My influence is a 29.
So it won't be successful for you and it won't be successful for Hammond. However, Minsk, if you rolled a 17, you would do 1d6. It's worked for Numen as well. So he would do 1d6 and it's worked for Hammond as well. Yes. And so everybody's doing 1d6. Can you see what I mean? So it is
totally.
It is possible. Go for it.
That would be the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah.
In that case, everybody has a fun, because everybody has different questions they want to ask. I don't know anything about mechanics. I don't know anything about law. Well, I don't know about how to avoid the law. But
yeah, exactly. And so then we work on this combat pool as we go, conflict pool. Now,
and to be fair, as we're talking, we're playing cards, everybody will be talking anyway. So it's general jibber-jabber while gently teasing out something we might want to know.
Yeah. So we're going to start this by a very clear parameter. Just to let you know that each round of this conflict pool is going to last an hour. Okay, so you're going to start this about 7 o'clock at night, and hopefully you get all the information that you need by midnight. As long as it's by midnight, then that's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. You can still get rest, etc. So your conflict pool for all of you, so make a note of this, is your charisma. So the conflict pool is going to be charisma. Okay, so for example, Max has a charisma skill, and Jack's got a charisma skill, so he's got that written down ready for that. and your skill can be any of the following. Okay, but you have to declare what it's going to be at the beginning, and you can't change from there. So it's probably best to pick your best one at this point. So your 3 skills that you have options of using are either influence, deceit, okay, because it's working on the fact that you can sort of like say, oh yeah, I've been here a long time, I used to work for that company, so forth and so on. Or insight, because therefore you can say, you can notice when maybe Jack is not telling the truth and get information about that. So each of you need to decide which skill you're going to use. So you can either use influence, deceit, or insight. Okay, just to let you know, if you were doing this in a buying situation, commerce is there as well, but not in this situation. So you should all have your conflict pool sorted, yeah, and your couch sheets. So what skill are each of you going to use?
I guess I'll go first, since I'm sort of a ex-law enforcement. I'm going with insight, see details, and try and use those to our advantage.
Nice.
I am going to use deceit.
That fits in so well with Are you sure this character's not turning into Cyrus? Can I just say that?
Obviously, there's some reflection from my own personality, apparently, that keeps seeping over. But no, he's
frustrated.
He's smart and calculating. I think he's a very smart person. He's calculating, so he knows how to essentially reverse psychology his way through information.
And Minsk?
I'm going to use native tongue. No, I'm not. I'm going to use influence.
Sorry, did you say you're going to use your tongue there? I don't know why. Suddenly, it's very easy.
Honestly, if we don't finish this by midnight, obviously that's maybe.
Yeah. Looking at my influence score, that was the wrong thing to say.
Okay, then. So you've all got your conflict pools and everything like that. So we always start with the highest pool goes first. Okay, so it's what Minsk, what is your combat pool? Charisma. Charisma
13.
13?
Yeah.
What about so mine is actually 11. So you will go first. Okay, so you roll. So Minsk, you are rolling the dice, and the roll is being reflected to everybody. So you go first. So setting the scene, you sat down, you got some bevies in, you're sat down, Purdy's recharging in the corner, you're all there laughing and joking. So tell me, before we do any rolls, what sort of information are you going for? What do you want to find out once the conflict pool has gone?
Let's have a group thing here. But what he's discovered, why he's my main thing is to open it by saying, so Jack, how's a good guy like you end up in a caravan like that, in that shack in the middle of nowhere?
Okay.
But we really want to find out what he knows about Z Corp, because he used to work for them, didn't he?
You assume so,
yeah. Assume so, yeah. Or he's been doing something else. But it is literally finding out as much as he knows about that to help out Angel Bright, which is our main objective at the moment.
And the other thing that I would say to you, and I'll be nice this time, I think what you need to know is about Z Corp, because that could just be the company, but also about the possibility of where the
where the base is on this planet.
Yeah. Okay then.
Exactly.
So brilliant. So we know where we're going. So Minsk, off you go. Roll your first. So you just roll your influence skill, and we can take it from there.
25.
So that's a 25. Okay then. So Minsk, that will work for you. Numen.
My insight is what I'm using right here. Right?
Yeah.
Then it's a success. My insight is a 54.
Brilliant. So that works.
Fantastic.
And Hammond's deceit.
41.
41. So yeah, so that rolls for everybody. So this is going to be a very, very quick conflict poll.
I'll tell you everything.
Yeah. So
unless we all get ones.
So yeah. So each of you roll a 1d6 at this point.
1d6. Let's have a look at the box.
Serving the cards so aggressively well.
Minsk starts off with a nice 6. We're at 9. You just need a 2 or higher, Hammond.
Sorry, one more time.
1d6.
1d6.
1d6. Got it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
This is your lie.
Yeah. So you sort of like spend the first.
Oh, I like your hair. I'll tell you everything.
Yeah. Well, it's less of an interrogation, but more of a.
It's a friendly banter thing. It's just a chit chat around.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Chat of information.
Sharing with chums. So these are the pieces of information that you get out of an evening of cards and drinks with Jack. The first thing that you find out is that he did work for Z Corp. He's worked for them, but there seems to be some conflict between whether or not he was sacked or whether or not he left. You know, that part of the story keeps changing every now and again. He does mention that he did work at the facility in Arid. And one of the things that he says, and he says it in a case of, drat, that he did have his old access card, but he sort of like thinks it's out in the trailers still. And Mince, you could put two and two together to realize that it's actually that's probably the card that you got. He actually,
in my hand.
yeah, he actually sort of like talks about it in the sense of it being something that it's anonymous. It's just a card digital barcode that allows you to gain access. Once the barcode is actually scanned, it tells the security team who it is. He does mention that the underground facility, he can actually point it out to you on a map where it is. And he does say that it does have a security guard system there as well. The other thing that he talks about is that he talks about keeping a low profile. And you definitely get the feeling that this almost like seems part of a deal that he talks about, you know, and a little bit more alcohol. He sort of like trips himself up at various points in his story. And he sort of like says that, you know, he left, but then he talks about one of the conditions of him leaving was, and that sort of like almost like refers to that he was being sacked. And he talks about this idea that he had to keep a low profile and people know where he is. The other thing that he gives you for free is he had no idea who those thugs were. He does mention that if Z Corp came after him, he wouldn't be around. You know, the pharmaceutical experts, you know, he would have eaten, drunk something, being shot at, or something like that, you know, and something quite very dangerous, if nothing else. And yeah, that's all the information he has. He can point to it on a world map, and somebody can bring up a world map.
Yeah, we'll do that while he's being Java.
He's sort of like touching it. And
does he actually say what he did for Z-Corp?
No, and he seems very guarded about it. He refers to it always as being an employer, An employee, sorry. And when you quiz him about it, he sort of like says that's the general term used for people. If anything, does anybody have a science skill at all?
What? A research skill, but I don't think science.
Yeah, so research is finding out information. So you could use research to find out information on the net about Z Corp or something like that. So you feel that he might be some kind of scientist, as if he's something like that. And you're quite relaxed, etc. When you're enjoying life, you know, you're getting all this information, you're really putting him at ease and getting him to say things, and he's really happy. And it's about 10 o'clock, 10:30, that Mal's with you as well, but they're sat in a corner. And it's about 10:30 that you hear a knock on your door to your accommodation. It just goes bang, 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 just like that. Not like da 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 or da da da. It goes bang, bang, bang. Your door's quite naturally locked at the moment, by the way.
I'm going to nod to Mal to take him into our bedroom.
Oh, to take Jack, yeah.
To take Jack, to take me into the bedroom.
Yeah.
And take Jack into the bedroom.
I'm gonna release the sensor bot. Let's see, maybe I can get some eyes out, but not be too obvious.
Remember, the only way out is through your door.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I have any holes or anything.
They're like they're literally like containers.
Yeah.
If memory serves me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also nod to or whisper to Numen, like behind the door. You know, so to get behind the door, and I'm going to go to the door. Hammond, can you maybe get your drone out and just keep it inside, just floating around or something, see if you can pick anything up?
Sure.
Yeah,
If failing that, crash it into anybody's head if need be.
So
and I'm going to coming.
And sorry, where's Numen? Numen, whereabouts are you?
I'm going to be to the side of the door, I guess, kind of giving backup for Minsk to open the door.
Okay.
And I guess I'll put away my stun baton, but full shotgun.
Your door opens outwards.
Outwards?
Yeah, because these are ex-shipping containers.
Of course they do, and they just open outwards, yeah.
So they always open outwards, because otherwise you couldn't pack them. So, Mince, you're going to be in front of the door, yeah, to open it. Numen, left or right, it doesn't really matter.
I will go right, because it matters to me, I guess.
Yeah, okay,
hey.
Right. And Hammond, you're further back, I'm presuming, with your... Yeah.
My drone and my blaster ready.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And you open the door, Minsk, and all you see, the street's quite deserted outside, and you sort of like look up, and it's only at that point that you look down and you notice there is a device there that has a red flashing light on. Could you all please roll initiative for me?
No, I want to end the night here.
Let me I just you can do it on there, that's fine. I can add it to, I don't need to
click my token.
Got a good roll for once.
15 again.
I'll just put yours on Numen.
That's the best roll I can get.
21, that is.
That's beautiful.
That is 16, so really
it's
popular
a thing
roll.
of beauty.
Why is 16 always up? That's the second time that two people
have
got...
got two 16s, yeah. It's crazy.
With the same initiative bonus and the same exact roll.
Yeah, so, okay, so I am going to do my roll now. So mine's a D10, and just to let you know, this initiative roll, allows me to see when this device is going to trigger. Okay, so it's a 1d10 plus a certain number. If it comes below, say, Minsk at 15, Minsk, you will have an action to do something. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. So
it's not a candygram, is it?
It is.
Candygram.
You'd be pleased to know that this is just it's a 1d10 plus 6. That's what the dice.
I bet it gets 16.
So if it gets 16, we're worried. Okay, but we'll wait and see. So here's my roll. Okay, 10. Okay then. So you see the ticking bomb. You can see it's some kind of explosive device. It looks like it's coming off. And Zach, you're behind the door, so you're going to be out of the range. Hammond, you're far back. So Minsk, you probably need to dive out the way. Can't
I just close the door?
Or you can close the door.
Yeah. Close that door. Close that door.
I was thinking about kicking it, to be fair. But with my
Drop kicking it.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to open it, look down, and then close it.
Okay, so you slam the door, quickly close the door, and
I will also say bomb.
Okay, and the
reaction.
The actual the container at that point explodes. Now the door is going to offer some sort of protection against it. But let me see how much damage this bomb is doing. So it's doing 18 points of damage. Just 1 second. I just need to get this book.
I'm going to grab Numen and say, Numen, cover me.
Because in this book, believe it or not, it tells me the hit points of various
reinforced steel container.
Yeah, well, it gives me hit points of various things, and then I can adjust accordingly. I have a funniest feeling.
It's made of vibranium, so it's all right.
You'll be fine. You're just hoping that it absorbs the majority of the damage. I know what you're hoping for. I'm hoping
Must be another container.
Right, here we go.
Why does my watch always think I've stopped breathing?
Are you holding your breath?
Yes.
Fire intensity. I'm nearly there. Okay, here we go. Inanimate objects. So an iron door, this is what I'm going to base it on, has an armor value of 12, and then it has 75 hit points on it. So the armor value, okay, stops the damage. Does that make sense? It's sort of like stopping.
Yeah.
Its hit points is how much, how many hit points before it's dissolved or disappeared or blown to bits. So obviously 12 points of armor will stop 12 of the 16, which means that only 4 is coming through, but the door is not destroyed because it's got 75 hit points, so it's still down to 71. So it's likely to have some gaps in it when it's actually come through places of the door, but it's not completely and utterly destroyed. So you quickly slam the door and you hear this explosion go off. Do you wish to hold the door shut or not? That's the only thing I was going to ask.
No. Once it's closed, I'm assuming it's going to auto lock itself anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll close it, and I will be sort of like ready to brace myself.
Excellent. So you sort of like slam the door as it blows up, and this device, you hear the explosion, and you notice that bits of fragments come through the door at you. So this will be 4 points of damage, which should be absorbed.
Don't get a 19 or 20 is all I'm going to say.
Sorry.
Oh! Four to my head, and now I'm dead.
What's your hit points left in your head?
At 0.
0. Okay, then. So
I talk like this now.
so, don't say that.
Just a small concussion. That's all.
So
Small
that
concussion. That's right. Sorry.
that means that you have a serious wound in your head. So can you roll, please, your endurance?
That's one thing I'm rubbish at.
No, there's.
But not today.
I think you're pretty
The alcohol's
rubbish.
kicking in, you see. That's
I
what it
think
is.
you're pretty rubbish at a lot of things. She said, when evade, oh, I'm pretty rubbish at that.
Yes.
Weapon fire, I'm pretty rubbish at that.
I don't want the other skills to feel sad, so I still say they're all rubbish.
Okay, then. So you sort of like get blasted back, and this sort of like part of the door, something hits you at this explosion, and sort of like knocks you down to the floor. Numen, you sort of like think, maybe the law should dictate that somebody else opens doors in the future.
Yeah. I should say, sucks to be you.
Just to let you know, you are unconscious for the number of minutes equal to the amount of damage sustained in the attack, causing this serious wound. So you're unconscious for 4 minutes, but first aid can help you. So once this happens, Purdy sort of like recognizes the dip in hit points, etc., or dip in blood pressure, etc., and automatically comes to life and says, "Please state the nature of your medical emergency." Does anybody remember that? Anybody know?
Yes, it's a doctor from the hologram doctor from Voyager.
Voyager, yeah, I love that. Yeah.
He was the best doctor ever.
He was. You know, I still haven't figured out how he did surgery though.
Because he had a solid mass thing inside him, didn't he? So he could do that. Or he just,
Yeah, I just thought if it was a hologram, he had to go, "Let me help."
No, I just don't remember the episode Message in a Bottle where he actually went to another space. Yeah.
Oh, anyway,
don't detract.
Purdy sort of like comes to life and starts to work on Minsk. Numen and Hammond, what would you like to do? Oh, it's 21-21.
Oh, I just noticed that.
Over here, it's not. So it's not.
I would have preferred it if it 21-12 is better, because then it's a true palindrome. But 21-21 is good as well. Yes. Let's start off with Numen, because you're closest to the door.
Numen, obviously the explosion's gone off. He's going to open up the door a crack, and he's going to try and use his perceptive eyes to see if he can see anybody running down the street or any movement from the shadows or something.
Yeah. Numen, I would like you to roll a 1d6, and I'm going to pick the number. Well, you could pick the number. Pick a number between 1d6 and roll a dice.
I would like 5.
5. Okay, so before you roll it, if 5 comes up, somebody got hurt in the blast out on the streets. Any other number, you're fine.
Oh, our neighbors are nice though. Oh, please don't be a 5.
No, you're safe. It sort of like goes off. You notice there's a bit of damage to the outside of the container. It's quite a gap in the sand, because that's what it was resting on. You do notice that it looks like it was pretty unidirectional. Probably aimed at your door rather than anything else. There seems to be a bit of a few people, doors opening up and down the street as people hear the explosion and comes out, but there seems to be nobody running away or anything like that. Hammond, what would you like to do?
I'm going to use that crack in the door that he opening, and I'm going to have my drone fly out and do some surveillance, see if it sees anything.
Yeah, so I mean, it flies out. It there looks like there's no there's only sort of like normal people on the street. That nobody's coming near your location or anything like that. But it will sort of like keep an eye on it.
Right.
Yes. Numen, can you roll a perception check for me, please? Okay, then. So you were successful in your perception, which means you can actually have a reaction to this roll. Because as you sort of like come out or open the door slightly to look up and down the street, you hear the crack of a gunfire. Do that roll? If it rolls, there you go. As there's a shot fired at the doorway from further away. Because you're in the doorway, you can take cover. So you're not evading because you've only got that crack open, so you can take cover. Just to let you know, my attack roll was hard because there wasn't a lot of you showing, so I got 34 out of 55. So that succeeded as a hard. So yeah, your take cover roll is just it's just a standard. It's just a normal one, so you can take cover if you wish.
And I'm dead.
No.
Oh, wait, did it not roll?
No, you're not.
And I'm dead.
Okay, so you take cover as well. So you're going to be taking half damage when this comes into you.
Quick question.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do this, but my question here is, if I used a luck point to flip it to a 62, does that make a difference? Or in this case, is it just whether or not both of you succeed? Or...
It's just like a normal combat roll. So combat rolls are differential rolls. So we're looking at degrees of success. So if you can get it to a critical, then you would have a special. You know, at the moment, it's a bit like, imagine that it's just like two people fighting with swords. So the swords hit you, but you've managed to parry. And so in those situations, you take half damage. So the sniper's hit, but you've also ducked back. So to make sure that both people are successful, a bit of the doorway. Also remember, like I said, my initial sniper roll was hard. You know, so that made it even better in your situation. But I don't have a special, so I can't choose hit location or anything like that. Go for it, Medivac.
Actually, as you just duck it out of cover, it just clips you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and
I just want to make sure on the numbers.
It clicks you. So it's not an opposed roll. If it was an opposed roll, then yes, that would be right. You could change it to 62, and in which case you would have won. So say, for example, you have to make an endurance roll in a second to see whether or not you're still alive. That is an opposed roll. So if you changed it to 62, you would have won. Okay, so this is coming into your 7. Whereabouts is that?
7 is my abdomen.
Oh, nice. And
that's a good way to die.
Slow and smelly.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good job. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah,
yes.
Nice.
Have you got macro running?
So you get 13 points of damage comes in, but you only take half of that because you were successful. So half of it will be 6 points. So no, 7 points, sorry, because we always round up. So 7 points. You've got armor there of 4, which will absorb that. So you've got 3 points of damage in your abdomen. Are you still up?
I am dead. I'm kidding. I'm at 3 out of 6.
Oh yeah. So this sort of like goes through and sort of like Medivac was saying, this sort of like scrapes, probably goes through that side where your lat muscles are, so it's missed all the important
where your pancreas is.
yeah, just
My
below.
love handle. No.
Yeah, in your love handle.
You don't
Your
need
love
it.
handles are no longer useful.
No.
Yeah, so I'm just going to roll Purdy's first aid skill for you. Yeah, so she,
I mean, I am backing away. I'm not gonna like hold myself out there. I'm back away and let Purdy do her thing.
so you sort of like Purdy's dealing with you, Minsk. So you will be back round in 4 minutes. Numen, you had a look at the street, crack. You then ducked back in, and I'll take what Minsk was saying about the door. Yeah, the door probably just closes and locks itself. If that's what you want to happen. So that's now shut. Hammond, your drone is buzzing an alert that there is an intruder who does not have permission to be near this area. You can hear a lot of screaming outside. Well, not a huge amount of screaming. You can see that people have obviously a bit worried that there's been a gunshot going off, and they're sort of like it's sort of like your drone is saying intruder, intruder, intruder. So you can probably see it in a heads-up display somewhere going meh, 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 meh.
So does that mean there's an intruder coming from within the place?
Coming within a probably about 5 meter radius of your
right.
your abode
Of my security system. Got it. All right. So what's best the way to do this? Was not Minsk, what's the other one? Numen. Did Numen get far enough away from the door? He's not like down or anything.
No, he's inside. He's still up. He's made out of strong stuff. Purdy's busy dealing with Minsk on the floor, who appears to be out of action. You can see that she's sort of like performing various medical routines on him to try to bring him round. Yeah, so would you like to do anything, Hammond?
Yeah. First thing, I'm going to try to get my drone to see if they can spot where the sniper came from, or where the shot came from. But this time, try to maybe get behind the sniper and not try to be a distraction, or so that doesn't, die as well.
Roll your sensor skill.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah, you're. It's quite easy to ascertain that the shot came from directly opposite your container. Remember, there's 8 meters, 10 meters between your container and the other container on the opposite side of the road, and you can actually, from the drone's analysis, you can see that it was a downward shot. So you assume that the shot came from the opposite side of the street, probably high up. Somebody with a sniper rifle may be lying down prone on it.
Got it. Perfect.
Numen, what would you like to do?
I'm still waiting for assistance from Purdy, I think. Right.
Are you?
Or no, I'm not actually that injured.
No, she'll only spring into action with serious wounds or more.
Got it.
Okay.
You've just got a light scratch.
Yeah.
Well,
Stop being a wash, Numen.
Oh, have we lost Mr. Pickles? All I can see is a cat.
Wait, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
No.
It does kind of look like my camera is frozen for some reason.
Well, you're not frozen. I can just see a cat.
You just bought a new one.
It's all right. It's all right. I can improvise. Don't worry. You're back.
I Zoom actually. It's sitting here not responding.
Silly,
Yeah, well,
silly.
don't touch anything. I've just put muscle pickles up.
Okay, yeah, the best pickles.
So
and
Everyone loves muscle pickles.
yeah, I knew there were. I was going to delete it, but I've just left it and locked it in place, and now I'm just going to automatically bring it up when you're
This is from that day that you accidentally lifted those dumbbells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Numen, you are up and working. You can do anything that you wish.
All right.
I want to have my shotgun at the ready because I'm expecting people to come through that door now.
Okay.
Or to start banging on the door. And I want to be ready to blast away at any intruder.
Yeah. So remember, it goes outward. So you can probably set up your angle of fire if anybody sort of like opens it at all.
All right. I'm gonna speak to Numen. Let's wait a bit, see if anyone comes through. If not, watch Blitzkrieg the bastard.
Okay, I think Numen's just dropped because all the car.
We lost Numen. No!
All the car.
What were you doing, Purdy?
Let's just restart Zoom, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll need to send him the
link.
I've popped it in the well, just while this is happening, just while we're waiting to come back, just talking about who have we got back?
Oh wait, audio just stopped on Zoom for me. He's attempting to join.
Okay,
Gosh.
no worries. Who have we got? Okay.
Okay, I think I'm audible now.
Right, we can hear you now. Right, just let me move people around because
I have video driver problems because it's like Zoom just gets angry at my web cameras.
So right, hang on, I'm just moving people. I've got muscle. I've got muscle pickles covering your candle. Your thing. Oh, I didn't realize that. You all right, Captain?
Yeah, I'm just.
I didn't know whether or not you were.
Ready.
I didn't know whether or not you were dancing or having a fit. I couldn't quite figure which.
Honestly, try to tell myself, but I feel like I'm in control of this one.
Excellent. So we got muscle pickles back now, but I think Mr. Pickles is here for sound. Can you hear us all right, Mr. Pickles?
Yep, I can hear you guys.
Excellent. So we got muscle pickles. Right. Yes, Numen. What did you want to do? You're leveling off your gun, ready to shoot anything that comes through the door. Yeah.
Yeah, because he said if it opens outward, they'd have to pull open, and then I'd probably likely see a part of them.
Exactly.
So that's my anticipation with the alarm going off, is that I'm ready for them to try and come in here.
Yeah. So you 4 minutes goes past with nobody entering the accommodation at all. Purdy finishes repairing you, Minsk. So you come round. You're a bit groggy. Perhaps maybe, any rolls that you do might be a little bit hard for a while before you fully recover.
Oh, what happened?
Where am I, bro?
What's happening? Did I die? I felt like I died.
No, luckily for you, you're still around. I think
I'm
our
getting
sniper
scars
friend
on my
is back.
face.
I think our
Oh,
sniper friend is
that's
back.
an idea. Yeah, all your
No.
influence rolls are now formidable
Yeah.
because you're
For being fugly.
yeah, you are completely and utterly fugly.
Yes. I
Okay,
wear a mask to be more mysterious.
so Hammond, you do know that Jack is rather concerned about everything. He almost like sees this as a threat on his life. Mal is very worried. He seems to be awaiting. He wants to leave, but at this point, Numen sort of like probably holds him back until he thinks the place is clear. It's about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, getting on to about 10 minutes when Numen, you hear the well-known sound that you know very well of the shield sirens coming. Numen, I think you've got a knowledge of the law.
Oh, I do. Would you like me to roll it?
Yeah, before you roll it, just to let you know what the reason you're doing. You're not trying to influence anybody or anything like that. I'm going to use this as an engagement role that you can sort of like tell them what they need to know factually about the what went on. And are you going to reveal to them that you are ex-Shield?
I think that Numen would.
Okay.
Because he likes the brotherhood of the law enforcement.
Okay then.
And everything, and he is here to help. Once the coast is clear, he'd go out to assist the Shields with whatever information he has. Because
Yeah. So
he'd probably tell them he doesn't want this sniper fella going around town hurting innocent people.
got ya. It means that the difficulty roll for this will now be easy. You're talking about the law, two people about the law who knows the law, and you're the law. So, unless you really mess this roll up, you should be safe.
I probably tell Numen before this about where I believe the sniper was stationed.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's good. So then Numen can, relate this to the Shield, members of the Shield outside. Yeah, so roll your knowledge of the law.
Breaking the law.
Wish it was a bit higher, but oh no.
And that's fine. You're at,
oh, that's right. You said easy.
Yeah,
oh, well, yes, good.
yeah, you're at easy, so don't worry about it. So you sort of like explain, and they see you as victims rather than somebody, a protagonist who actually caused this. You do get the feeling as you're talking to them, Numen, that this is the second sniper attack in so many days. And they're sort of like saying, something, you've been involved in both of these things. Is there anything you would like to tell us? Anything we could be prepared for or anything like that? Does Numen want to give anything away or try to just keep it all to himself?
That's a good question. I think that Numen would just say he's not sure who these snipers are, but he knows they're up to no good. He wouldn't reveal anything about his job right now.
Okay, so roll your deceit roll.
Oh yeah. Woo.
Oh, sorry. I'm live, sorry.
Yeah, so you get the distinct feeling that they don't believe you. They're puzzling, and sort of like you can see them looking at you as if to say, you're not giving us the whole piece of information here. They go on to say, that if the typical, we can only help you if you it's sort of like says, it's a good idea to share everything, you know, but they don't seem to be pressing you about what's going on, but they have, they realize that you just fib to them.
Yeah.
And you're holding something back. You do notice at this point that, exactly. There's a conflict pool for gambling if anybody ever wants to use it. Poker game, skill gambling, conflict pool is intelligence, the average of intelligence and power.
Might be able to use my sleight of hand as the skill for that.
Yes, you could. Yeah, that is very true. It's interesting.
Conceal.
And conceal is for hiding big things like your gun or thing.
Not a deck of cards.
And just to let you know, a casual beginner low level has gambling 30 and conflict pool 6, but high level professional has a gambling of 70 and a conflict pool of 16. Ha. If you want to beat me, cheek. Oh, did you say you got sleight of hand?
I think it's just slight, but I keep adding a hand because
cheating in poker is to be able to cheat. The skill is sleight is required. For every successful sleight roll, the cheater gets a +10 bonus on their gambling skill for the same round. Failure gives no bonus, and the other card players will detect cheating with a successful perception roll. That's a nice little touch. I like that they've thought about that. Anyway, back to the storyline. So Mal goes back to check on Angel Bright. What's going to be your around Minsk so you can participate? You really get this feeling that
someone doesn't like us.
Yeah. Or that you need to set it. You get a feeling that this was, you're not too sure whether or not it was aimed at you as people or at Jack.
And because the last time we were attacked by a sniper was when, refresh my memory. It was when you took a drone for me.
It was when
I was gonna say it was at the office where Angel Bright was getting her license or checking licenses for land.
Correct.
And somebody protected her like really awesomely.
Oh, of course, yeah.
They had giant muscles and everything. It was just
not
like,
recollecting much.
It was just a drone, wasn't it?
Perfect hair.
Perfect hair, rippling, that kind of thing.
You do feel that this was more than a sniper attack, though.
More professional as well, by the looks of it. It's very well orchestrated.
And an explosive.
Yeah, it's actually, can I do something while they're all doing their little thing? Could I use my demolition skill to get some insight onto what kind of bomb was used, or maybe that might give me a clue of where this person's from?
Do a quick roll before. We'll say you're doing it before the shields arrive.
Okay. What do I got here? I'm gonna re-roll it. Is my last luck point of the night.
Yeah, because it's nearly time.
Yeah.
That used to be
this is where I get shot again.
Yeah. The only information that you get is that we'll say that what information I gave to you before came from your demolition knowledge, because I forgot that you had it, to be honest with you. But
yeah.
So you know it was unidirectional. You do get the feeling, Hammond, it wasn't like a junk model. It was quite professional how it was done. And you're not too sure whether or not it was time or remote detonated. You haven't got that much time before the shields arrive, but you do realize that it wasn't designed to just hurt people. It was designed to terminate them. You know, interesting if if you think of it, if Minsk had decided not to slam the door, then
too brute.
yeah, and even if you
And
had,
it was torn through the whole building because it just ricocheted and concussion.
yeah, and also you would have evaded, and if you had evaded, you would have taken half damage, which would have
still killed me.
Which would have been 8 points to the head. Which this explosive was not.
Just out of interest, what's the rear of our
it's just blank.
cabin?
They have no other external ways
no,
out.
but what's at the rear of it though?
It's containers back to back.
Oh, back to back, right.
So yours is next to the next one, then their entrance is on the next street, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not like we could dig a hole.
No.
Hammond can make a hole and exit at the back.
Yeah, no. And these probably break all fire regulations.
Yeah.
At all. Jack's very worried at the moment. Is anybody engaging with him?
Yes. I'll go through to Jack and I'll say, Jack, don't worry, we've got this handled. We're going to move you somewhere else. And very strange. They're after us, not you, so I wouldn't worry about it because they've been after us before.
Yeah, and he sort of like starts talking very rapidly, and he's saying things like, they're not after you, they're after me. They realize that I've told you things. I'm a dead man, aren't I? I'm dead, aren't I? Sure as I leave this place, I'm going to die, so and so.
Jack, you're not, because the sniper that shot at us today is the same one that shot us before we even knew you existed.
Yeah, and you're sort of like trying to calm him. And, Purdy can give him a sedative if you wish.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Just a little upper.
Yeah, so she sort of like understands it. He's getting to the stage that you're probably branching on, bordering on.
And it'd be like, Jack, let Purdy just see to that little scratch you've got there. It looks like it might get infected.
Yeah, and he's sort of like sedated. Numen, the shields ask you whether or not they think they should put a patrol on you or not. They obviously have a duty of care to you. Are you going to get them involved with that or not? Has he gone again?
Sorry, I think Zoom froze there again.
All right.
You guys stopped talking for a little bit.
Yeah, we were just quiet. We just thought we'd just. Can you hear us now? Did you hear what I said about the shield? Does Numen, the shield are sort of like concerned and want to know whether or not they should put an extra patrol round or give you some kind of protection. It's up to Numen to sort of like decide whether or not that's going to be needed or not.
I think Numen would definitely agree. I think we do need more patrols around here, but this person seems to be on the roofs a lot. That might be a helpful place to be looking for. Do you all know of any people here that would possibly be a sniper looking to shoot random citizens?
There's never been a sniper attack. The worst thing that the local shield deal with are barroom brawls.
Yeah.
The odd stabbing,
or petty theft, maybe.
Yeah, and it's really minor things. They haven't had a shooting of any description. Well, they've had double the amount of shooting, over these 2 days. They've only had 2. And they're getting really concerned that, what concerns them more is the bomb. Because, luckily from your dice roll, Numen, nobody was injured in this one. So they are quite keen to stop and arrest somebody if necessary. So I never know whether or not Mr. Pickles is still here now, or whether or not I'm just talking and nobody.
I should just start making squeaky noises every once in a while, so you know we're here.
Or something like that. Okay then. So you sort of like Jack is sedated, and the last thing.
Whoa.
Is there anything else?
Did I miss him getting sedated?
Yeah,
he's not out cold. He's just more chilled.
Oh, okay.
He was.
You guys drugged him and knocked him out.
Yeah, as soon as you weren't connected, Hammond did vile things to him.
Don't tell him what happened.
It was take the pills. Never just take the pills.
It was
I was out of the building. I didn't know this.
Yeah. So, is there anything anybody else wants to do in the immediate situation? We'll probably finish a little bit earlier.
Because it's things to think on, to be quite honest. I think we need to scour the whatever information networks they have here to find out, on the underground as well, to find out who's new in town, perhaps. If anybody has seen, I mean, there'd be plenty of like street urchins and whatnot, I would have thought, who might know people scuttling around our place while we weren't here. How do they know where we are? Sorry, Howard. Yeah.
The one thing I was thinking in my head is maybe, obviously, this person probably is not from this area. He probably arrived here, but at the same time, it's not like I can look in the books for some weird wanted criminal or wanted mercenary, because odds are he'd probably use a fake name or something not to, bring up red flags once he arrives. So, yeah, that probably wouldn't work. At this point, it'd be a description of weird fella. Looks like he can shoot really well with a sniper, which I don't know how we're gonna.
Or kind of large bag with a gun in it.
Yeah.
Or woman.
Or woman. Yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to.
Don't be sick. Don't think that all snipers have to be a man. Okay. So I'm going to give you one more piece of information just before we call it a night in preparation for next week, so you can decide what you want to do. You get a communication from Angel Bright, and you feel that the information that you gained has probably been communicated back to Angel Bright via Mal, who of course was in the room. And her final message to you to finish off this session is that she has actually found the location of the facility.
Yeah.
And then she says, maybe we should, and the line goes dead. And that's where we will leave it. She was definitely cut off in mid-sentence, and all that you've got left now is static. And that's
a ship.
Yeah, go grab. Minsk is just bothered about, this is a nice ship. I'll have this one. Okay, so
next adventure. Passengers, come aboard.
Our employer's dead. Let's take her ship.
I think, Minsk, you must be like a cat with 9 lives, because I think every adventure you nearly get shot at, blown up, and
I've been knocked unconscious twice.
I know, that's
what the heck?
You keep getting knocked unconscious and I can't quite kill you.
Who'd want to kill this?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Maybe next time Purdy should open the door.
We're not going down there.
Our butler.
We're not going down that. Oh no, well, I don't mind it actually, because if she gets destroyed,
yeah, we die.
Yeah, so
no, I'll just fix her up. She's easier to fix up than not.
Oh yeah, I can imagine how you'll fix her up. Yeah.
With snipers instead of hands.
Yeah.
Take out the voice.
Yeah, I forget to put the voice module in.
Yeah.
Um,
Brilliant. So thank you for coming along and sharing in the adventure tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, or I did. We will be back hopefully next Saturday, which we might finish this adventure off, or we might take another one. But there's definitely a few negatives that the party are having to deal with. Quite frankly, somebody is trying to blow them up or kill them. And there's something definitely has just gone wrong with their patron who is the person who's paying them as well. And maybe they do know where the underground facility is. Maybe next adventure will be a bit of an infiltration.
Ooh, doggy.
Yeah, excellent.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that's Captain Scarlet, isn't it? Yeah, Captain Kangaroo. And do you know what? And Mr. Pickles, do you know what Captain Scarlet is?
I don't.
They kill him, and his body may burn.
Yeah.
They crush him, but they know he'll return. to fight again.
Just go onto YouTube and type in Captain Scarlet and the Mr.
But you've got
Oz.
to go dun, 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 when you've done that.
I bet Darth remembers. Darth is in the stream. I bet he remembers.
Darth, hi Darth.
He remembers.
Mr. Rons?
Yeah. This is the voice of the Mr. Oz. And while you're on it, Captain Scarlet is wonderful. What was the underwater one?
Oh, Aquamarina.
What was it?
Aquamarina.
What was what's it?
Oh, what the hell's it called?
He says anything can happen in the next 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Stingray. Thunderbirds. Do you know the Thunderbirds in America?
We know Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
I don't know Thunderbirds.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew about Thunderbirds a little bit.
You need to.
It was an 80s cartoon.
Yeah.
Animated. Well, no, it's
70s.
puppets. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, 70s. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all puppets, but yeah, Stingray.
That's
Darth to
gracious.
say Stingray. It's Captain Scarlet, Stingray, and Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Just have to watch them. They were. It's what I grew up on, watching puppets like that.
And weed.
Yeah. That's Bill and Ben, isn't it?
Yeah. Blah 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Go on, Bill, you're pissed.
There was Bill and Ben who were flower pot men, and they talked. They went flobber, lobber, 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 and they actually got taken off TV because people said that it was actually causing delay in children's language acquisition because they were all sat there going flobber, lobber, lobber, flobber, lobber, lobber.
Explain the Teletubbies.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyway, thank you for coming along tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll see you all next week. I'm dying to get Numen cheating at poker. I can't wait to see that. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, stay positive. I'll catch you all next week. See you later. Goodbye. Say goodbye, people.
Goodbye, people.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, people.
Rainbow. Go Google Rainbow.